Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Andy McRae. Time for another episode of Getting to Know, and we're going to get to know a whole lot about Tug Fest. We have Josh from the Illinois side, and we have Barry from the Iowa side here to talk about it. It is just about time for Tug Fest weekend. We are ready to go. Thanks for coming back in, guys. I know you guys make a lot of television appearances this week. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having us. I appreciate it. Love to talk about Tug Fest.
I know. So all right, let's just get right on into it. So this is the 39th Tug Fest. I think you told me a minute ago. How long have each of you guys been involved? Josh, you can go first.
It's been 23 or 24 years, and I was under 21 when I started.
All right. So more than half of this event, you've been
Yeah.
doing it. You've been
I
involved.
was 5 when it started, and I remember Dad pulling on the boat ramp on the asphalt, everybody wearing shorts and tennis shoes.
All right, this is awesome. So, all right. So what is your official title or your official role now for the Port Byron side?
Sure. Well, I'm part of the committee, but I'm also one of the team captains, and I'm also a tugger on some of the teams.
All right. So you're involved in many ways. Barry, what about you? What is your role specifically?
Mostly I work on the PR, going on news channels and talking about Tug Fest. I also have some responsibilities on the levee. I'm in charge of the gates, getting some volunteers to work our gates for us. So I've been involved for 16 years. Josh has got a couple more years on me, but 16 years for me.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are both long-running Tug Fest enthusiasts. So, all right. I guess before we go any further, we should talk about what is Tug Fest exactly. I think most people around the Quad Cities and around Port Byron and LeClaire know, but just in case they don't, it's basically a big old-fashioned tug of war with a huge rope over the Mississippi River. Does that sum it up?
Correct.
Scott Verbeck most years ago saw this going on somewhere else, brought the idea back. Some of the old members of the town got together. They found 4 links to 600 feet, got somebody to splice them together, made the crazy thing work, and then it just took hold.
All right. And this rope nowadays, how long is it? How heavy is it?
2,700 foot, and it's about 680 pounds.
So that thing weighs 680 pounds.
Dry.
Dry. And then a lot of it's in the river. Not as much of it's going to be in the river this year. Is that accurate? What's new for this year?
Yeah, we
That's
have.
something that I don't know. Is he going to level the playing field?
We're hoping so. I know me and Josh kind of differ on this, but that's okay.
As you should.
And we try to work together on making sure the playing field stays level.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
And
want it to be fair. Right now, Illinois is on a winning streak. How many years in a row? What is it now?
12
I'm
years.
sorry. Is it about 12 years? I think last year was it just a sweep all across the board, you guys? Because how many tugs are there each year?
11.
There's 11 in an exhibition high school game.
All right.
tug.
So it's 11, though. So there will be no ties. There will be no draws. There is a winner every year. And last year, am I remembering correctly? Was it 11-0?
No, I think we might have got one.
Yeah,
I
think
can't remember.
The year before was 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So right now, again, it is a streak here. So, some people say maybe the river current has something to do with it. But Barry, you said years ago, Iowa had a nice run of its own.
Yeah, we did. 12 years we had our run. Illinois was about ready to quit like we were a couple years ago just to try something different. And, this is a huge event for both sides of the river. It brings so much tourism, so much money into our community. And we want to keep it going, try different ways to get the interest. And next year's our 40th anniversary. And I was talking to Josh earlier, and I'm like, we need to work together and just really promote both sides of the river. And for 40 years, this has been going on. So it's a long time.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, because there's the love of the game, there's the pride, there's all of that with the Tug Fest itself. But also, this is such a community homecoming. This is such an opportunity for everybody to come back around to the small river communities and to see each other again and have a great fireworks display and just enjoy their time back home and have some of that Americana again.
All right, so it is fun, and I mean, there's a little bit of like some kind of a financial impact, we'll say. I mean, the festival part of it brings in a lot of money to each of your communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for us, we get to, the carnival gives back money to us. Like, we make money off the gate emissions, but we have to spend money on insurance, our stage, and we got to buy the beer before.
Fireworks.
Fireworks are huge.
It's a big ticket item.
That's like $26,000 for each side. And
Okay, I've always wondered how much some of these fireworks shows cost. Like obviously a lot of us in the Quad Cities, there's Red, White, and Boom. There are other ones, River Bandits put on a lot of good shows. But you guys have a great show too. So you want to you say the number again? It's not cheap, obviously.
It's right around $26,000 that each side pays.
So it's about a $50,000 fireworks show at Tugfest. What night? What night do you guys do that?
Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday night. Where do those get set off from now? Is it each side or is it a barge out in the middle? How do you guys do it?
It used to be each side. It was a competition as well.
But you were on TV joking. Yeah, we used to shoot them at each other or something like that. I assume it's a bit of a joke. I love it.
It's a joke.
Hilarious. All right, so now it's a joint effort.
It's on a barge that's out in the middle of the river. They like the Iowa side better, so they come a little bit closer to the Iowa side.
Okay, so but yeah, no, that's a lot of money.
It gives us a better view.
I remember when I first moved to the Quad Cities 20 plus years ago. One of the first couple years I went to Tugfest and I went on the nights for fireworks, and I remember thinking this is outstanding, and this is fun. And I go back, maybe it's not quite every year, but I'll go back and I'll do some live shots. You have live music. All right, we'll come to the entertainment part of it here shortly. Let's talk about the tug. I said there was something a little bit different this year. I heard about it on the news the other day. So more of the rope is going to be lifted up out of the water. Is that accurate?
Yeah, 2 years ago we tried that, and we had a barge with an excavator, and they lifted the excavator arm of it up, and it just kind of went around that, and it only lifted it up 10 feet. So this year we have a barge that has a hydraulic jack that's going to lift it 20 to 25 feet out of the water. And Josh and I differ on this, but I really think the current has an issue with our side for some reason. And I do believe the river changes all the time. So
right.
Something different, and it's unique. This is a unique event that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world.
It's difficult to describe to people not from here and to help them conceptualize what it is, because it's a simple, straightforward thing that everybody's done as kids, but then to see it as an actual town festival across the river and everything else, it's just foreign to people.
I went to Australia, and they're like, "What is Tugfest? Do you want to hear what we call Tugfest?" And I'm like, "I don't want to hear about it."
Yeah, understandable. How was that flight? Australia, clearly the longest flight you've ever taken.
It was 13 and a half hours from LA, but it was worth it. I was there a month, and I have some friends that lived over there. So beautiful, beautiful place.
Kind of on my bucket list of places I want to go. I'm a tennis fan, so I want to see the Australian Open. It'd be a good time of year.
That's better than me. When I graduated high school, we took the cheap flights. So we also went through LA, but we left on a Tuesday night out of O'Hare, and we got there on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
At least.
Even with time change, that is a long way.
The longest one was an 18-hour layover.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit now about, last thing I'll say about the actual competition. Had I not heard, Barry, that you guys had a run of your own, I was going to ask if you would go as far as saying, you know what, I think this is not right. Next year, I want our Iowa people on the Port Byron side tugging from over there, but you would never go that far.
We are more than willing to do that. Illinois does
We've
not
kicked
want to
it
do that.
around. Part of the problem is that we want to make sure everybody gets to be with their family and friends, and that we both pull in pits that we prepare, because there's a lot of impact to that, not just in the pit prep, but the layout of it and everything else.
So the idea has been kicked around, though, you said. So it's not like that would.
Yeah, we've been close to reaching a resolution in the past, but then we ended up taking the rope most of the way out of the water, and then now all the way out of the water. So,
all right, we're going to get to the festivals here in a little bit, because that is obviously a large part of Tugfest. Let's talk though about the practice, the strategy. Is this a year-long commitment? How do you guys decide who goes on the teams and everything? So let's start there. Is there one tug that is like all of the pros, all of the best people? That's the most important one. Is it like that? Is there one that, again, it's your best team versus their best team?
Go on.
Good.
We do have some teams that we like to put the strongest men we have on that. And you know what's really unique about us? We also put some women on our men's team to help out.
Okay.
We started practicing April, and twice a week they practice, and we had the last practice on Monday night on the levee, so they got used to the tug pit and everything. So
So some people are on more than one of the tugs or more than one of the teams. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the old days, they had different rules, and one of the ones was everybody only pulled once. But with the advent of the newer teams, the structure and everything, we have guys that pull multiple as well. On our side, we have captains. Every captain is responsible for his own team. He fills his own roster. He makes sure the guys get to practice. He keeps tabs on them throughout the year. We don't start organized practice till June, but the majority of the guys that pull stay conditioned throughout the year. A number of us used to pull on the 8-man competitions as well, and that was very much self-directed. You maintained your conditioning and everything year round because you'll have a little festival pop up somewhere, and you're not going to spend a bunch of time training as a team prior. So, and that culture's just lingered.
All right, so we have captains of each of the teams or each of the whatever. So there's like 11 captains, we'll
Yes.
say. Is there anyone who's like is there a tug master?
Both sides have a tug master.
So that is the person who's in charge kind of all of it.
Yes.
Right. They place the people on the rope where they want them and everything. And one thing about we have one women's team that they have 25 women on a team, which no men are allowed on that team.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Random question here. I want each of you guys to answer this. If you took a random sampling of 100 people in LeClaire and Port Byron, would more of them be able to name the mayor of LeClaire or Port Byron or the tug master? Who's more popularity to these cities?
Tug master, absolutely.
Is that same?
Well, why don't you ask a city council member? Because I'm on city council, so.
So that notion of tug master, even if they're not officially the mayor, it's kind of like they're running.
Matt Tate.
Especially when they're winning. Yeah, who are the tug masters these days?
My side, it's Matt Taney and his brother Jeff Taney, and our mayor's Dennis Gerard. So,
okay, so you know them all. All right,
and nothing to slight Barb. Barb's a great mayor, but Alan's run, Alan Black as our tug master, has been the run of our win, and so everybody knows him, and that's a lot longer than the mayors have been in.
So, like, do you think it'll be right along the river or a block away? Where will his statue end up going?
It's funny because that came up this year in media. One of the media personalities that's in radio mentioned that he thought it was strange we didn't have a Hall of Fame, and that we should have a Hall of Fame.
Right.
And that includes some of the past masters, some of the people that put the original event together that have passed on, whether it's plaques or it's one plaque with a Hall of Fame with names on it. Either both sides get together on one Hall of Fame or each town has their own, because realistically, the other 364 days of the year that you go through these towns, you wouldn't know this exists other than that one day. So to have some kind of, living tangible evidence along the river for people to see as they pass through would be really, really neat for some of the tourists.
The Tug Fest Hall of Fame. I like the sounds of it. Hopefully that'll happen here sometime soon.
We actually, we unfortunately lost two of our members in the last couple months. Dave Brody was our tug master, and he was our tug master during our 12-year stint, and he passed away. And then we had Dave Bass pass away too. So we got some T-shirts that we're going to put out in the Tug Pit and honor them this year. So because they were huge influences on Tug Fest and the Tuggers.
All right. Well, obviously the Tug Fest, the actual competition, that's kind of what started it all. But man, it has really grown and evolved into just a whole weekend long of fun and games, music and rides. And we're going to talk about all of that coming up here in just a couple of minutes as we are getting to know Tug Fest as we get ready for the 39th event. Something that's a pretty cool thing that we have here right outside of the Quad Cities. Just a quick drive for anybody who might be watching from all around the Quad Cities area. More about Tug Fest here in just a couple of minutes. All right, so this event's been going on for almost 40 years now. It's not just about the tug, though. It's not just about the competition on Saturday. This is a full weekend, a lot of fun on each side of the river. All kinds of stuff to get into. And first, let's hear about what's going on the LeClaire side. Barry, again, big weekend. It all starts Thursday night.
Thursday night at 5:30, we open up the gates. We have carnival rides, all you can ride for $30 till 10 o'clock tonight. We have Press Record that's playing, a local band. And we have about a couple years ago, my brother actually started a bags tournament where they get about 30 or 70 people that play in this bags tournament. And it's so much fun. Friday night we have the grand parade. We have fireworks at about 9:30, and we have dirt road rockers coming in. And Saturday night or Saturday we have the big tug at noon. Goes about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and then we have a band out of Chicago coming in called the Breakfast Club. We're very excited about that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like they do some stuff around the Quad Cities. They seem to always have a good crowd, like,
Yeah.
following, so that'll be nice. So, safe to say on the LeClaire side over the course of the weekend, we're talking thousands of people?
We estimate about 6 or 7 thousand people come through Leclerc.
That's awesome. That's great. And, so a bunch of fun there. And I do like the joint fireworks, and then Josh, all kinds of stuff going on in Port Byron too.
You bet. Yeah. Tonight is the wristband night as well. It's a big kids night. Families come out. There's a lot of fun to be had. And there's a magician in the pageant contest and everything tonight. Friday night, incidentally, we have the same fireworks time, 9:30. Strange.
Go figure.
uh,
And about $50,000 worth of fireworks. That's maybe it's 52, whatever it is, but that's a nice round number. Get you a great show.
yeah,
It's
and
about a
we have-
half-hour show.
Yeah, it's like one big long grand finale, and I love that because I have a short attention span. I know it's surprising, but it's annoying when you go to a big show and they drag it out and there's big gaps and everything else, and the production quality is incredible and it has been for years. It's basically one long grand finale. They
Yeah,
just
I
pour everything into it the whole time, and it's amazing.
no joke. More than 20 years ago, I remember thinking that exact thing. Like, wow, this is an awesome fireworks show at a pretty cool festival. You said a pageant. Is there a Miss Tug Fest? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and that is
Yeah, and there's a junior and a miss. Yeah,
so all of that. All right.
yeah, and then radio fighter pilots playing Friday night, and then Saturday morning we have the Nick Teddy 5K, which is an amazing cause. And the fire department puts on a pancake breakfast. And I don't want to push too many people to it because there was a hell of a line last year, but they do a great job. And about that time, about 8 a.m. is when our 3-on-3 tournament starts. We kicked that back off. The nostalgia was really strong with that one, especially like the legacy age ranges. Nobody loves
Love some 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. I tore my Achilles playing basketball like 10 years ago, so I don't play that sport anymore, but that would be a blast.
That's what's getting me away all these years.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tear my
Fear of injury.
Yeah, yeah.
So how many teams do you get for the three? And this is all on the Port Byron.
I don't even know how many are registered this year.
But it's a lot.
It's
It's a good
been
amount.
it's been busy. So, and they were setting the hoops up this morning when I stopped by.
So you guys mentioned like kind of the main bands. Is there music like for several hours these nights, like even ahead of the bands that you guys mentioned? Because I remember I did some live shots on the Port Byron side a couple years ago, and there was a band playing. And I knew the guy, and I actually jumped up on stage and I sang Johnny Be Good with them. Blast. But I feel like that was even at like 4 or 5. So I feel like there's music. Wait, do you guys have karaoke also? Is there a karaoke thing? Or is that not this year?
You know, do Terry.
Not
I'll
this
see
year.
where.
Yeah, this
Okay,
year.
Josh, I remember it was on your side a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, radio fireplace. They'll be playing both before and after the fireworks. So they'll be around pretty late.
So it's a
Eva
lot.
Kendall is on tonight, and I'm hoping we stay dry enough Saturday night for the music because that'll be 9 to midnight. So, and that'll be a really good show. So,
Earlier you
assuming it goes, it's Evan Coyote. She's out of Nashville. She was one of the finalists on one of the shows, and she's a great artist. So,
Okay, very nice. And you guys can both weigh in here. One of you guys already mentioned it. This really is like a, a reunion kind of a thing. I would think a lot of people from LeClaire, from Port Byron, it's if they're going to come home one time over the summer, maybe they live in Chicago, they live a few hours away, whatever. If they're going to come home one time over the summer, for a lot of them, it's probably Tugfest week.
absolutely.
I just talked to my sister. Her and her husband live in Des Moines, and they're traveling back right now to come back to Tugfest. They come back every year.
Yeah, all right. And for good reason. It's been going on for almost 40 years. That's pretty awesome. And just a whole weekend of fun, obviously. Is it more about the fun, more about the competition? What do you guys think?
Saturday's pretty intense for us.
That's great.
The tug has been overshadowed by a few years back. We started a kids tug, and initially we had it downtown because that's where the pageant goes on and everything else. And we ended up moving it down by the tug site because it was easier for everybody to come down and get ready and get team pictures and all stuff like that and be able to do that. And that has, I think, garnered more fans than the main tug has. It's wild. I mean,
Yeah.
We get
people
a
are crazy cheering for the kids, and they break them up in age ranges and give them shirts for different team colors and everything. It's awesome.
we get like 150 kids that do our kids tug. It's 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we give them tug shirts, and it says "Future Tugger" on the back.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, get them started young.
Yeah,
Totally
keep it
understand.
going.
All right, so if you guys had to guess the percentage of people, we'll do it for each side, um, who are from LeClaire, who are at the festival just over the weekend. You said 6 or 7,000 people. And then how many are from Port Byron? How many do you think drive from the Quad Cities, which is obviously like 10 minutes or something? It's super close. And then are, out of towners? Like, where do you think all these people are from?
Well, realistically, they're talking 10 to 15,000 people for the festival at large. And our town just managed to turn 1,700 people. It was 1,600 for years. So obviously there's a pretty big disparity there. The majority of them are from the greater Quad Cities area. I think we're sitting around, 300,000 people, something like that.
Yeah.
But there are definitely people that travel through that we run into every year that happen to be passing, that heard about it, that put it on their bucket list and traveled from a distance. And then those are the stories that are really neat to hear.
And what about you, Barry? Same kind of a lot of people from the Quad Cities, obviously just about all of LeClaire, Port Byron coming out.
Yeah, a lot of locals, but we have this little TV show. I don't know if you've heard of it, American Pickers. They've been on for like 16 years now, but they have a lot of people that come in to see them, and then they hear about Tug Fest. They go to our restaurants and they see little things going on, and they're like, we've had multiple people come back from Wisconsin, Chicago, Des Moines, and Nebraska. Just had over at a buddy of mine's house, and he had some friends come up from Kansas City last night. They love it.
All right. Just about a minute left. What did you guys say earlier? I think, Josh, I heard you mention something about Germany or some people from there. Barry, you mentioned, was it Ireland? Tell me about this little international.
Now, we actually have a German film
Oh.
crew that came out and actually talked to one of our past tug masters into going look at their city in the hopes of being able to replicate the festival in their German town across the river. And unfortunately, it didn't work out based on the geography and topography. But that was really fascinating. We've even had ESPN 8 out years past. Yeah, the
Nice.
Ocho.
And then what about, Ireland? Did you?
Yeah, they came down and
over there?
practiced with us. They weren't able to come down because the same time up in Wisconsin they have Irish Fest, so that's where they like to go. But they were able to sneak down and just kind of practice with us and show us their techniques and everything.
I joke on television every once in a while. We have these kickers. That's what we call them. It's those stories at the end of the newscast. It's kind of lighthearted, funny, but sometimes it's some weird, some strange, unique, different festival going on somewhere over in Europe. And often I'll say, I wonder if over there they have a story about Tug Fest and talk about how there's a huge tug of war contest over the Mississippi River because it is that unique. And it sounds like they're not even going to be able to start it up in Germany, which I kind of like. I kind of like us being able to say, it's a unique thing right here around the Quad Cities area, and it's been going on for almost 40 years. All right, I think we're just just about out of time. So thanks for the extended conversation on Tug Fest, guys, and good luck this weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Hopefully the tug is a close and a competitive one. We got to go out and see. All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having us.